Here in Nepal, we work with farmers because farmers make up about 80% of the population. Right now, the situation is very difficult everywhere in the country. My name's Corey O'Hara, and I'm Nepal Country Director for IDE. IDE is an international nonprofit that works in some of the most challenging parts of the world, helping people to lift themselves out of poverty by engaging in business. COVID-19 is causing disruptions along agricultural supply chains, and that doesn't seem like a really serious thing until you realize it means farmers haven't put their seeds in the ground on time. They're missing their growing season. And we're already starting to get reports from the field of families going hungry. Most of the country is high hills, which means that even villages that may be close by are really very far apart in terms of transportation. Farmers who live far from a market center may have to walk for hours and hours, even just to get to a road. So a lot of our work here in Nepal is bridging that last mile, is reaching those small farmers. Without access to those last mile supply chains, farmers don't have access to even the basic tools that they would need for agriculture. So their access to seeds in local markets, their access to basic irrigation equipment, even a watering can, is very, very limited. So getting access to those kinds of tools means really getting someone to them in their fields who also understands their own local needs and how to engage in productive agriculture. Right now, we're facing a particular problem with an invasive pest that's come to Nepal for the first time, the fall armyworm. It's potentially devastating for corn crops, and they have no real way to respond to this new problem. So in areas where it is taking hold, farmers are seeing as much as 2/3 of their corn crop completely destroyed. That, for the most part, is the food that they're going to be relying on for several months to come. So losing that crop in particular means people are going hungry. It's been a real struggle. What they have in their fields right now just isn't enough. Now, under COVID-19, we can't be working like we normally would. So a lot of the work that we're doing, the training work, the coordination work, is really now going through mobile phones, just through regular SMS text messaging, as well as through Facebook, through social media. The kinds of information that we're getting out to farmers include some basic things about how to respond to COVID-19, messages about hand washing, social distancing, things that you and I have heard a lot of lately, but that small farmers in remote areas haven't really had exposure to. Another kind of information that we're getting out to farmers digitally is weather forecasting. In remote rural areas, farmers don't have access to local forecasts. So we've been installing weather stations in local market towns so that farmers actually have a real local weather forecast. As markets start to reopen and as the lockdown starts to relax a little bit, we'll also be getting farmers information about who's open, what hours, what equipment they might have, what tools they might have. We'll be getting them information to make sure that they can reestablish their farms and begin to produce once again.